You'll never be a doctor. Single mothers don't finish medical school, the mother-in-law had said 8 years ago. Today, Dr. Maya Williams stood at the podium, valedictorian of her class. In the front row, her twin sons cheered louder than anyone. "That's our mommy," they shouted proudly as she received her diploma. The audience laughed and applauded. In the back, her ex-husband's mother sat in shock, watching the woman she had dismissed become everything she said she'd never be. Dr. Maya winked at her sons. "This is for you, boys. Dreams come true." But before we dive into the full story, let me know where you're watching from and what time it is. Now, subscribe to the channel, and let's get started. You are making a huge mistake. Margaret Williams stood in her dining room in Evanston, Illinois, holding a newspaper article in her hand. Her face was tight, and her voice was cold. Maya Williams sat across the table with her hands on her pregnant belly. She was 6 months pregnant with twin boys. The babies were kicking, but Maya tried to stay calm. "I am not making a mistake," Maya said quietly. "I am going to medical school." Margaret put the newspaper on the table. The headline said, "Working Mothers, the Price Children Pay." She pushed it toward Maya. "Read this," Margaret said. "This is what happens when women try to do too much. Children suffer. Marriages fall apart. You are choosing your career over my son and over those babies." Maya looked at her husband David. He sat next to his mother and would not look at Maya. He just stared at his plate. Maya felt her heart break a little bit more. This was not how things were supposed to be. 8 years ago in Chicago, everything was different. Maya was 24 years old, and her whole life was ahead of her. She lived in a small apartment on the south side with David. The apartment had 1 bedroom and a tiny kitchen. The paint on the walls was old, and the floors were crooked. But it was theirs, and Maya loved it. 3 weeks ago, Maya had received the most important letter of her life. She was washing dishes when the mail came. David brought in a stack of envelopes. Maya saw the return address: Northwestern University Medical School. Her hands started shaking. She dried them on a towel and picked up the envelope. "Open it," David said. He was smiling. "Come on, open it." Maya tore open the envelope. She pulled out the letter. Her eyes moved across the words. "We are pleased to inform you," Maya screamed. She actually screamed. She jumped up and down in their tiny kitchen holding the letter. "I got in!" she shouted. "I got into medical school!" David picked her up and spun her around, even though her pregnant belly was big and round. They both laughed. Maya felt tears running down her face. She had dreamed of this moment since she was 10 years old. Maya grew up poor on the south side of Chicago. Her father left when she was 3 years old. Her mother, Teresa, worked 3 jobs to pay for their small apartment. Teresa worked as a janitor at Chicago Memorial Hospital during the day. She cleaned office buildings at night. On weekends, she did catering for rich families in the northern suburbs. Maya barely saw her mother. But Teresa always said, "Baby, you are going to be a doctor. You are going to help people. You are going to have a better life than me." When Maya was 20 years old, her mother died. Teresa had diabetes, but she could not afford her insulin medicine every month. Sometimes she went without it so she could pay rent. One day she collapsed at work. By the time the ambulance came, it was too late. Maya sat at her mother's funeral and made a promise. She would become a doctor. She would help families who could not afford health care. She would make sure no one else lost their mother the way she did. Now, 4 years later, Maya was holding the acceptance letter from Northwestern Medical School. She had kept her promise. She was going to be a doctor. But first, she had to tell David's mother. The next Sunday, Maya and David drove to Margaret's house in Evanston for dinner. They went every Sunday. Margaret lived in a big white house with a perfect lawn and expensive furniture. She had never worked a job in her entire life. Her husband Robert paid for everything. Margaret believed that wives should stay home and take care of their husbands and children. She believed that women who worked were selfish. Maya had known from the beginning that Margaret did not like her. When David first brought Maya home to meet his parents, Margaret smiled, but her eyes were cold. She asked Maya where she grew up. When Maya said the South Side, Margaret's smile got tighter. She asked Maya what her parents did. When Maya said her father was gone and her mother worked as a janitor, Margaret barely spoke to her for the rest of the evening, but David loved Maya. He proposed after they graduated from the University of Illinois. He said his mother would come around. He said everything would be fine. Maya wanted to believe him. Now Maya sat at Margaret's dining table with her acceptance letter in her purse. She took a deep breath. "I have good news," Maya said. "I got accepted to Northwestern Medical School." Margaret put down her fork. Her face went completely still. "Medical school," Margaret repeated. "You are 6 months pregnant, and you are planning to start medical school." "Yes," Maya said. She put her hand on her belly. "I start in 3 weeks." Margaret looked at David. "Did you know about this?" David nodded. He still would not look at his mother. "Maya has always wanted to be a doctor. We talked about it." "You talked about it," Margaret said slowly. Her voice was getting louder. "You talked about your wife abandoning you and your newborn babies to sit in a classroom." "I am not abandoning anyone," Maya said. Her voice was shaking. "I can do both. I can be a mother and a medical student." Margaret laughed, but it was not a happy sound. "That is very ambitious, Maya." The word ambitious came out of Margaret's mouth like it was something bad, like it was an insult. "Thank you," Maya said, even though she knew it was not a compliment. The rest of dinner was silent. Maya barely ate. The babies were kicking hard in her belly. She felt like she could not breathe. When they finally left, Maya and David sat in their car in Margaret's driveway. "Your mother hates this," Maya said. "Just ignore her," David said. He started the car. "She will get used to it." But Margaret did not get used to it. The next day, David's phone rang while he was at work. It was his mother. She called him every single day after that. Maya did not know what Margaret said on those phone calls. David would not tell her, but she saw the way his face changed. She saw the way he looked at her differently, like he was not sure anymore. The Sunday dinners got worse. Margaret brought articles about working mothers. She left them on the table for Maya to see. One article was about a woman who went back to work, and her baby got sick at daycare. One article was about a medical student who dropped out because it was too hard. Margaret never said anything directly. She just left the articles there. "Did you see this story?" Margaret would say. "So sad. That poor family." Maya tried to stay calm. She went to her prenatal appointments at the hospital. She bought used medical textbooks from other students and started reading them. She was going to be ready. She was going to prove everyone wrong. But David was changing. He stopped defending her at Sunday dinners. When Margaret made comments about medical school, David said nothing. He just looked at his plate. One night, Maya found pamphlets on their kitchen counter. They were about taking a gap year from medical school, about delaying your start date. "What are these?" Maya asked. "I was just looking at options," David said. "Maybe you could start next year after the babies are a little older." "I am not waiting," Maya said. "I already waited 4 years to apply. I am starting in 3 weeks." David did not argue, but he did not agree either. He just walked away. 2 weeks before medical school started, Maya visited her mother's grave. She took 2 buses to the cemetery on the south side. She knelt on the grass in front of the small headstone. Her pregnant belly made it hard to kneel, but she managed. "Mama, I got in," Maya said. Her voice was thick with tears. "I got into Northwestern. I am going to be a doctor just like I promised you. I am going to make you proud." Maya felt the baby's kick. She put both hands on her belly. "These are your grandsons, Mama. I am going to raise them right. I am going to give them everything we did not have." Maya sat there for a long time. The sun was setting when she finally stood up and walked back to the bus stop. That night Maya could not sleep. She lay in bed next to David. He was already asleep or pretending to be asleep. Maya stared at the ceiling and felt the babies move inside her. She thought about medical school starting in 2 weeks. She thought about Margaret's cold face. She thought about David's silence. "I can do this," Maya whispered to herself. "I can do this." But 2 hours later, Maya heard a sound. She opened her eyes. David was standing in their bedroom doorway. The hallway light was on behind him. He was holding an empty suitcase in his hand. His face was pale and his hands were shaking. Maya sat up in bed. Her heart started pounding. "David?" she said. "What are you doing?" David did not answer. He just stood there, holding the suitcase. And Maya knew. She knew everything was about to fall apart. David walked into the bedroom and put the suitcase on the bed. He opened their closet and started taking out his clothes. Maya watched him. Her whole body felt frozen. "What are you doing?" Maya asked again. Her voice was shaking. David did not look at her. He folded a shirt and put it in the suitcase, then another shirt, then his jeans. "David, talk to me," Maya said. She got out of bed. Her pregnant belly made her movements slow. "What is happening?" David finally stopped. He stood with his back to her. His shoulders were tight. "I can't do this," he said quietly. "Can't do what?" Maya felt panic rising in her chest. "Can't do what, David?" David turned around. His eyes were red. "This! All of this! Medical school with 2 babies, the money problems, the stress. I can't do it." "We can figure it out," Maya said. She moved closer to him. "We are a team. We can do this together." "No," David said. He shook his head. "You are choosing medicine over our family. My mother is right." Maya felt like someone had hit her. "Your mother? This is about your mother?" "She is not wrong, Maya," David said. His voice was getting louder. "You are 6 months pregnant with twins, and you are about to start the hardest school in the world. How is that going to work? When are you going to take care of the babies? When are you going to take care of me?" "I can do both," Maya said. Tears were running down her face now. "I promise I can do both. Please don't leave. Please." David went back to packing. He took his shoes from the closet. He took his laptop from the desk. He was moving fast now, like he was afraid he would change his mind if he stopped. Maya got down on her knees. It was hard with her big belly, but she did it anyway. She grabbed his hand. "Please," she begged. "Please don't do this. We can work it out. I will make it work. I will be a good wife and a good student and a good mother. I promise." David pulled his hand away. "I can't, Maya. I am sorry." He closed the suitcase. He picked it up. He walked to their dresser and took off his wedding ring. He put it on top of the dresser. The small gold ring made a tiny sound when it hit the wood. "David, please!" Maya was crying so hard she could barely talk. "Please, don't leave us. Please!" David walked to the bedroom door. He stopped for just a second. He did not turn around. "I am sorry," he said again. Then he walked out. Maya heard his footsteps down the hall. She heard the front door open. She heard it close. She heard his car start. She heard it drive away. Then there was silence. Maya stayed on her knees on the bedroom floor. She could not move. She could not think. She just cried. She cried until her whole body hurt. She cried until she had no tears left. Then She lay down on the floor and stared at the wall. 3 days passed. Maya did not eat. She did not shower. She barely moved. She called David's phone 50 times. He never answered. She left messages. "Please come back. Please talk to me. Please." He never called back. On the 4th day, Maya dragged herself to the bathroom. She looked in the mirror. Her face was swollen from crying. Her hair was a mess. Her eyes were empty. She looked down at her pregnant belly. The babies were moving inside her. "I am sorry," Maya whispered to them. "I am so sorry." But then something changed. Maya looked at herself in the mirror again. She thought about her mother. She thought about the promise she made at her mother's grave. She thought about giving up her dream. "No," Maya said out loud. "No, I am not giving up." She took a shower. She ate some food. She picked up the acceptance letter from Northwestern and looked at it. Medical school started in 1 week. She was going. David leaving did not change that. She would do it alone. 3 months passed. Maya's belly grew bigger and bigger. She went to her prenatal appointments alone. She prepared the tiny nursery in their apartment alone. She bought 2 cribs and 2 car seats with money from her student loans. She read her medical textbooks and tried to prepare for school. Every day was hard. Every day she thought about David. But every day she kept going. On a Tuesday morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, Maya woke up with pain in her belly. The pain was strong and came in waves. She knew what it was. She called a taxi and went to Chicago Memorial Hospital alone, the same hospital where her mother used to work as a janitor. The labor was long and hard. Maya had no one to hold her hand, no one to tell her she was doing a good job, just nurses and doctors who came in and out of the room. After 14 hours of labor, the first baby was born. He was tiny and perfect. He had dark eyes and dark hair. He cried loudly. "It is a boy," the doctor said. "Congratulations." 3 minutes later, the second baby was born. He was a little smaller than the first. He cried too, but softer. "Another boy," the doctor said. "You have twin boys." The nurse cleaned the babies and put them both in Maya's arms. Maya looked down at them and felt something break open in her chest. They were beautiful. They were hers. She started crying, but this time the tears were different. These were not sad tears. These were fierce tears. "Isaiah," Maya said, looking at the first baby. "And Elijah," she said, looking at the second baby. "Your names are Isaiah and Elijah Williams, and I am your mother. It is just us now, but that is enough. I promise you, that is enough." A nurse came in later and looked at the chart. "Should we call the father?" she asked. Maya looked at her sons sleeping in her arms. "There is no father," she said. Maya stayed in the hospital for 2 days. Then she took her babies home to their small apartment. She had 2 car seats in the taxi, Isaiah in one, Elijah in the other. Maya sat between them and looked at their tiny faces. They were 1 week old. Medical school started in 2 weeks. "We can do this," Maya told them. "We can do anything." But the next week, everything got harder. Maya was home with the babies trying to figure out how to take care of 2 newborns. They cried all the time. They needed to eat every 2 hours. Maya was exhausted. Her body hurt from giving birth. Her mind hurt from not sleeping. And she was supposed to start medical school in 1 week. Then someone knocked on her apartment door. Maya was holding both babies and trying to calm them down. She opened the door. A man in a suit stood there holding papers. "Maya Williams?" he asked. "Yes," Maya said. "I am a lawyer representing David Williams," the man said. He handed her the papers. "These are documents terminating parental rights. Mr. Williams is signing away all legal rights to the children. He will not be providing any financial support or contact." Maya stared at the papers. She held her babies tighter. "There is also this," the man said. He handed her an envelope. Maya opened the envelope. Inside was a letter written on expensive paper. The handwriting was neat and perfect. It was from Margaret Williams. "Dear Maya," the letter said, "the Williams family will not be providing any support for you or your children. David has made his choice and we support him. We wish you luck, but we will not be involved. Sincerely, Margaret Williams." The lawyer left. Maya closed the door. She sat down on her couch, still holding Isaiah and Elijah. She read the letter again. Then she looked at her sons. "They do not want us," Maya said to them. "But we do not need them. We have each other." 3 weeks after giving birth, Maya started medical school. She found a daycare near Northwestern University. The owner was a woman named Mrs. Rosa Martinez. Rosa was older, with kind eyes and gray hair. Maya brought the babies to meet her. "They are so tiny," Rosa said, holding Isaiah. "How old are they?" 3 weeks, Maya said. Rosa looked at Maya. "And you are starting medical school?" "Yes," Maya said. "Tomorrow is my first day." Rosa was quiet for a moment. Then she smiled. "You are very brave. I will take good care of your boys, and I will give you a discount because I can see you are doing this alone." Maya started crying again. "Thank you," she said. "Thank you so much." The next morning, Maya woke up at 5 o'clock. She fed Isaiah and Elijah. She got them dressed. She packed their diaper bags. She took 2 buses to the daycare. She held 1 baby carrier in each hand. Then she took another bus to Northwestern University. Maya walked through the doors of the medical school building, carrying 2 babies in carriers. The hallway was full of students. Everyone stopped and stared at her. Some people whispered. Some people pointed. Maya kept walking. She found her classroom and sat in the back row. She put 1 baby carrier on each side of her chair. A girl sitting nearby leaned over. "Are those your babies?" she asked. "Yes," Maya said. "They are my sons." The girl looked surprised, but she smiled. "That is amazing," she said. "I am Amanda Foster." "Maya Williams," Maya said. The professor walked into the classroom. Everyone got quiet. Class was about to start. Isaiah started crying. Maya picked him up and tried to calm him down. Everyone turned around to look at her. Maya felt her face get hot. But she did not leave. She stayed in her seat, holding her baby. This was her life now. She was a medical student and a mother. She was alone, but she was not giving up. The professor stopped talking and looked at Maya. The whole classroom was silent except for Isaiah's crying. Maya stood up and rocked the baby gently. She felt everyone watching her. "I am sorry," Maya said quietly. "He will calm down in a minute." The professor was an older man with gray hair and glasses. His name was Professor James Chen. He taught anatomy. He looked at Maya for a long moment. "Perhaps you should step outside until the baby is quiet," he said. Maya's face felt hot. She picked up both baby carriers and walked out of the classroom. Her hands were shaking. She went into the hallway and sat on the floor against the wall. Isaiah was still crying. Elijah woke up and started crying too. Maya fed them both right there in the hallway. Students walked past and stared at her. Maya kept her eyes down. When the babies were finally quiet, Maya went back into the classroom. She had missed 20 minutes of the lecture. She had no idea what the professor had been teaching. She sat down and tried to take notes, but she was so tired she could barely hold her pen. This was only the first day. Maya's schedule became impossible. Every morning she woke up at 5 o'clock. She fed Isaiah and Elijah. She changed their diapers. She got them dressed. She packed their diaper bags with bottles and extra clothes and pacifiers. Then she carried both babies and both bags down 3 flights of stairs from her apartment. She walked to the bus stop and waited. Sometimes The bus was late. Sometimes the babies cried the whole ride. Other passengers gave her angry looks. Maya took the bus to Mrs. Rosa Martinez's daycare. The daycare was in a small house near Northwestern University. It was old but clean. Rosa took care of 6 children total. She had toys and cribs and a small kitchen where she made baby food. Every morning Rosa opened the door and took one of the baby carriers from Maya's tired arms. "Good morning, little ones," Rosa said to Isaiah and Elijah. She looked at Maya. "Did you sleep?" "A little," Maya lied. "You look exhausted," Rosa said. "You need to take care of yourself, too." "I will," Maya said. But they both knew she would not. After dropping the babies at daycare, Maya took another bus to Northwestern University. Classes started at 8 o'clock in the morning and ended at 5 o'clock in the evening. Maya sat in the back of every classroom. She took notes as fast as she could. She recorded the lectures on her phone so she could listen again later. During lunch break, she did not eat. She studied, she made flashcards, she read textbooks. At 5 o'clock, Maya took the bus back to the daycare. She picked up Isaiah and Elijah. She took the bus home. She made dinner for herself. She fed the babies. She gave them baths. She rocked them to sleep. By the time both babies were asleep, it was usually 9 o'clock at night. Then Maya studied. She sat at her small kitchen table with her textbooks and notes. She studied anatomy. She studied biology. She studied chemistry. Her eyes hurt. Her back hurt. Her whole body hurt. But she kept studying. She studied until 2 o'clock in the morning. Then she slept for 3 hours and woke up at 5 o'clock to do it all again. Maya also studied at the daycare. When she dropped the babies off in the morning, she left her anatomy flashcards with Rosa. "Can you show these to them during the day?" Maya asked. "Just hold them up so they can see the pictures." Rosa laughed. "They are 3 weeks old, Maya. They cannot learn anatomy." "I know," Maya said, "but I want them to see me studying. I want them to know this is important." So Rosa held up flashcards showing pictures of hearts and lungs and bones, while Isaiah and Elijah lay on their playmat. Maya also brought flashcards to the daycare at pickup time. While she waited for Rosa to get the babies ready, Maya studied. Maya studied while breastfeeding. She held a baby in one arm and a textbook in the other. She studied on the bus. She studied in the hallway before class. She studied every single minute. But other students noticed. They whispered. "Did you see her bring those babies to class?" one girl said. "How can she possibly keep up?" another student said. "She will drop out by Christmas," a boy said. "There is no way she can do this." Maya heard them. She pretended she did not. But every whisper felt like a knife. One day after anatomy class, Professor Chen asked Maya to stay. The other students left. Maya packed her books slowly. Her hands were shaking. She knew what was coming. "Maya?" Professor Chen said. He sat on the edge of his desk. "Can we talk?" "Yes," Maya said. "I have been watching you," he said. "You are struggling. You missed the last quiz. Your homework was late. You fell asleep during my lecture yesterday." "I am sorry," Maya said quickly. "It will not happen again." "Maya, this is too hard," Professor Chen said. His voice was not mean. It was almost kind. That made it worse. "You have newborn twins. You are exhausted. Maybe you should take a year off. Start medical school again when the babies are older." Maya felt panic rising in her chest. "No," she said. "I cannot do that." "It is not a failure," Professor Chen said. "It is smart. It is practical." "I cannot afford to wait," Maya said. Her voice was shaking. "My sons need me to succeed now, not next year. Now. If I stop, I will never start again. I will make this work. I promise." Professor Chen looked at her for a long moment. Then he nodded. "All right," he said. But you need to keep up. Medical school does not slow down for anyone. I know, Maya said. I will keep up. But keeping up was almost impossible. The biggest problem was money. Medical school tuition was expensive. Maya had student loans, but they were not enough. She had to pay rent. She had to pay for daycare. She had to buy diapers and formula and baby food. Diapers alone cost almost $100 a month. Maya looked at her bank account every night and felt sick. She had $40 left until the end of the month. Maya needed a job. She applied to work at a diner called Johnny's on Clark Street. It was open 24 hours. They needed someone to work the night shift from midnight to 6 o'clock in the morning. Maya took the job. 3 nights a week, Maya came home from school and put the babies to bed. Then, at 11:30 at night, she left her apartment and took the bus to Johnny's diner. She worked from midnight until 6 o'clock in the morning. She served coffee and pancakes to drunk people leaving bars. She served eggs and toast to taxi drivers. She smiled even though she wanted to cry. Her feet hurt. Her whole body hurt. At 6 o'clock in the morning, Maya's shift ended. She did not go home. She took the bus straight to her 8 o'clock class at Northwestern. She sat in the back row and tried to stay awake. Sometimes she could not. One morning she fell asleep during Professor Chen's lecture. Her head dropped forward and hit her desk. The sound woke her up. Everyone turned around to stare. A girl sitting next to her reached over and touched her arm. "Are you okay?" the girl whispered. Maya looked up. It was Amanda Foster, the same girl who had introduced herself on the first day. "I am fine," Maya whispered back, "just tired." After class, Amanda followed Maya into the hallway. "Maya, wait," she said. Maya stopped. She was so tired she could barely stand. "You fell asleep in class," Amanda said. "When was the last time you actually slept?" "I sleep," Maya said. "How many hours?" Amanda asked. Maya did not answer. "You are going to make yourself sick," Amanda said. "Let me help you." "I do not need help," Maya said. She started walking away. "Everyone needs help," Amanda called after her. But Maya kept walking. She did not know how to accept help. She only knew how to survive. 2 weeks later, Maya had to choose between buying diapers or buying a required textbook for her pharmacology class. The textbook cost $200. Diapers cost $90. Maya stood in the store, holding both items. She put the textbook back. She bought the diapers. Then she went to the Northwestern Library and studied using their copy of the textbook. She took pictures of every page on her phone so she could read it at home. At the end of the first semester, Maya sat at her kitchen table and opened her email. Her grades had been posted. She clicked on the link. Her hands were shaking. She looked at the screen. Anatomy. F. Pharmacology. F. Biology. C. Chemistry. D. Maya stared at the grades. She was failing 2 classes. If she failed, she would be kicked out of medical school. Everything she had worked for would be gone. Maya put her head down on the table and started to cry. Maya cried for a long time. Isaiah and Elijah were asleep in their cribs in the bedroom. The apartment was quiet, except for the sound of Maya crying. She looked at the grades on her computer screen again. FFCD. She was failing. The next morning, Maya went to Professor Chen's office. She knocked on his door. He looked up from his desk and waved her in. "I got my grades," Maya said. Her voice was quiet. "I know," Professor Chen said. "Sit down, Maya." Maya sat in the chair across from his desk. She twisted her hands together in her lap. "You are failing my class," Professor Chen said. "And failing pharmacology, too. If you fail these classes, you will be removed from the medical school program." "I know," Maya whispered. "I warned you this would happen," Professor Chen said. He took off his glasses. and rubbed his eye. "Theresis, I told you this was too hard. You cannot take care of twin babies and go to medical school. It is not possible." Maya felt something hard and angry rise up in her chest. "It is possible," she said. "I just need to work harder." "You are already working too hard," Professor Chen said. "You fell asleep in my class 3 times. You look sick. When was the last time you ate a real meal?" Maya could not remember. "I eat," she said. "Maya, take a year off," Professor Chen said. "There is no shame in it. Start again when you are ready." "I am ready now," Maya said. She stood up. "I will fix this. I will pass your class next semester. I will not fail." Maya walked out of his office before he could say anything else. That night, Maya made a new plan. She would stop sleeping. Sleep was taking too much time. She would study all night every night. She made a schedule and wrote it on paper. 5 o'clock, wake up. 6 o'clock, take babies to daycare. 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock classes. 5 o'clock, pick up babies. 7 o'clock, put babies to bed. 7 o'clock until 6 o'clock in the morning study. 1 hour of sleep. Then, start again. Maya also quit her job at Johnny's Diner. She needed those 6 hours from midnight to 6 in the morning for studying instead of working. Her manager was not happy. "You are just going to stop showing up?" he asked. "I have to," Maya said. "I am failing school. I need more time to study." "What about money?" the manager asked. Maya did not have an answer. She just left. Without the diner job, Maya had no income except her student loans. The loans paid for tuition and rent, but there was almost nothing left over. Maya looked at her bank account. She had $23. She had to make it last 2 weeks until the next loan payment came. Maya stopped buying food for herself. She bought food for Isaiah and Elijah. She bought diapers and baby food and formula. But she did not buy food for herself. She told herself she was not hungry. She drank water and coffee. Sometimes she ate the leftover baby food from the boys' plates. After 2 weeks, Maya stepped on a scale at the gym on campus. She had lost 15 pounds. Her clothes hung loose on her body. Her face looked hollow. But she kept studying. One day, Amanda saw Maya in the library. Maya was reading her pharmacology textbook. Her hands were shaking. Amanda sat down next to her. "Maya, you look terrible," Amanda said. "I am fine," Maya said. She did not look up from her book. "When was the last time you ate?" Amanda asked. "This morning," Maya lied. Amanda opened her backpack and pulled out a sandwich. She put it on the table in front of Maya. "Eat this," she said. "I am not hungry," Maya said. "I do not care," Amanda said. "You cannot study if you are starving. Your brain needs food to work. Eat the sandwich." Maya looked at the sandwich. It was turkey and cheese on wheat bread. Her stomach hurt from hunger. She picked up the sandwich and took a bite. It was the best thing she had ever tasted. She ate the whole thing in 2 minutes. "Thank you," Maya said quietly. "You are welcome," Amanda said. "Now let me help you study. What class are you working on?" "Pharmacology," Maya said. "I do not understand any of it." "I can help," Amanda said. "I am good at pharmacology. We can study together." For the next month, Amanda brought Maya food every day. A sandwich, an apple, a granola bar, and they studied together. Amanda explained the things Maya did not understand. She made new flashcards. She quizzed Maya over and over. Slowly, Maya started to understand pharmacology. Her grades started to go up. She was not failing anymore. She was getting a C, then a B. But then something terrible happened. Isaiah got sick. He was 3 years old. It was winter in Chicago and very cold. Isaiah started coughing. Then he got a fever. Maya gave him medicine, but the fever got worse. It climbed to 104 degrees. Isaiah's little body was burning hot. Elijah stood next to his brother's bed, crying. Maya called a taxi and took Isaiah to Chicago Memorial Hospital emergency room. She carried him in her arms. His head was heavy on her shoulder. The doctors took him right away. They did tests. A doctor came out and talked to Maya in the waiting room. "Your son has pneumonia," the doctor said. "He needs to stay in the hospital. We need to give him oxygen and antibiotics through an IV." "How long?" Maya asked. "At least 1 week," the doctor said. Maya felt her world crack open. 1 week? I have a major exam in 3 days. It is worth 40% of my grade. The doctor looked at her with tired eyes. "I am sorry," he said, "but your son is very sick. He needs you here." Maya called Mrs. Martinez and asked her to keep Elijah for the week. Rosa said yes immediately. Then Maya went to Isaiah's hospital room. He looked so small in the big hospital bed. There were wires and tubes connected to his body. An oxygen mask covered his little face. Maya sat in a chair next to his bed and held his hand. "Mommy is here," she whispered. "You are going to be okay." Maya slept in that chair for 7 days. She did not leave the hospital. She did not go to class. She did not take her exam. She stayed with Isaiah and watched his fever slowly go down. She watched him breathe. She prayed to her mother in heaven to keep her son safe. On the 7th day, Isaiah was better. His fever was gone. He was breathing normally. The doctor said he could go home. Maya carried him out of the hospital and took him home to their apartment. Then Maya checked her email. There was a message from Professor Chen. "You missed the major exam. According to medical school policy, makeup exams are only allowed if the student is personally ill. Missing an exam for family reasons is not excused. Your grade for the missed exam is an F. This brings your semester grade to an F. You have failed anatomy for the 2nd semester." Maya read the email 3 times. She had failed again. She had stayed with her sick son, and now she was failing out of medical school. She sat down on her couch, with Isaiah asleep on one side and Elijah on the other side. She put her face in her hands. "I cannot do this," she whispered. "I cannot do this." But then Isaiah opened his eyes. He looked at his mother. "Mommy, I love you," he said in his small voice. Maya hugged him. She would find a way. She always found a way. 2 weeks later, Maya received a letter from Northwestern University Medical School. She opened it with shaking hands. "Dear Maya Williams, you are being placed on academic probation. If you fail 1 more class, you will be expelled from the program." Maya put the letter down and looked at her sons playing with blocks on the floor. She had come too far to give up now. 2 years later, when Isaiah and Elijah were 5 years old, Mrs. Rosa Martinez called Maya with bad news. "I am so sorry, Maya," Rosa said on the phone. Her voice sounded weak. "I am sick. I have to close the daycare. I am moving to Arizona to live with my daughter." Maya felt panic. "When?" she asked. 2 weeks, Rosa said. "I am so sorry." Maya hung up the phone. She had no backup plan. She had no money for expensive daycare. She did not know what to do. For the next 2 weeks, Maya looked for new daycare. Every place was too expensive. Every place had a waiting list. She had nowhere to take her sons. So Maya brought Isaiah and Elijah to class with her. She packed their backpacks with coloring books and crayons. She sat in the back row of every classroom with 1 boy on each side of her. They colored pictures while she took notes. Some professors did not care. Some professors looked angry but said nothing. Some students complained. "This is a medical school, not a daycare," one student said to Maya in the hallway. Maya ignored him. She had no choice. She also brought the boys to her study group. 5 students met at the library 3 times a week to study together. Maya showed up with Isaiah and Elijah. They sat under the table coloring while the students studied above them. "This is not appropriate," one girl in the study group said. "The children are distracting." "Then I will leave," Maya said. She started packing her books. "No," Amanda said. She looked at the other students. "The children are quiet. They are not bothering anyone. Maya stays." After that, the other students did not complain anymore. During exams, Amanda watched Isaiah and Elijah in the hallway while Maya took her tests. Amanda brought them snacks. She read them books. She became like family. One day, Maya was sitting in the library studying when her phone buzzed with an email. The subject line said, "Special Interview Selection." Maya opened it with her heart pounding. She read it once, then twice. Then she looked up at Amanda, sitting across from her. "I was selected for an interview," Maya said. Her voice was shaking. "But I do not know what it is for." Amanda grabbed the phone from Maya's hand and read the email. Her eyes got wide. "Maya, this is huge," Amanda said. "This is an interview for the residency program at Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston. That is one of the best hospitals in the entire country." "What?" Maya took her phone back and read more carefully. The email said she was one of 5 students selected from Northwestern Medical School to interview for the residency program. Only the top students received this invitation. "I do not understand," Maya said. "I was on academic probation. I almost failed out. How did I get selected?" Amanda smiled. "Because you did not fail out. You kept going. You brought your grades up. Maya, you are in your final year of medical school, and you are at the top of your class now." Maya felt tears in her eyes. She had worked so hard. She had given up everything. And now, someone was recognizing it. "When is the interview?" Amanda asked. Maya looked at the email again. Her heart sank. "Next month. The week of March 15th through March 22nd. "What is wrong with that week?" Amanda asked. "That is the week of Isaiah and Elijah's 7th birthday," Maya said quietly. "Their birthday is March 18th. Amanda was quiet for a moment. "Can you do both?" she asked. Maya looked at the email again. The interview was in Boston. She would need to buy a plane ticket. She opened her banking app on her phone and looked at her account. She had $420. A plane ticket to Boston cost at least $300. That would leave her with $120. She had promised Isaiah and Elijah a small birthday party. Chitty had promised to buy them each a present and a cake. That would cost at least $100. "I cannot do both," Maya said. "I can afford the plane ticket or I can afford their birthday party. Not both." "What are you going to do?" Amanda asked. Maya closed her eyes. She thought about missing her son's birthday. She thought about missing this interview. Both choices hurt. "I do not know," Maya said. That night, after putting the boys to bed, Maya sat at her kitchen table. She looked at the plane ticket prices on her laptop. $289 for a round-trip flight to Boston. She looked at her bank account again. She could do it. She could buy the ticket. But then there would be no birthday party. Maya walked into the boys' bedroom. Isaiah and Elijah were asleep in their twin beds. They looked so peaceful. They were turning 7 years old. They had been with her through everything. They had sat quietly in classes. They had colored in libraries. They had never complained. They deserved a birthday party. But this interview could change their lives. If Maya got this residency, she would become a real doctor. She would make real money. She could give them a better life. The next morning, Maya made breakfast for the boys, scrambled eggs and toast. They sat at the small kitchen table eating. "I need to talk to you about something important," Maya said. Isaiah and Elijah looked at her. They could tell from her voice it was serious. "I got invited to a very important interview in Boston," Maya said. "It is for a job after I finish medical school. This interview could change our whole lives." "That is good, Mommy," Elijah said. "But the interview is the same week as your birthday. Maya said. Her voice cracked a little. I cannot go to the interview and have a birthday party. I only have enough money to do one thing. What should I do? Isaiah looked at Elijah. They did not say anything for a moment. Then Isaiah looked at his mother. You should go to the interview, Mommy, Isaiah said. We can have cake another day. Are you sure? Maya asked. Tears were running down her face. You only turned 7 years old once. We are sure, Elijah said. But his eyes looked sad. That night Elijah made Maya a card. He drew a picture of an airplane and wrote, Good luck in Boston. We love you. The words were spelled wrong, but Maya put the card on her refrigerator. Every time she looked at it, she wanted to cry. Maya bought the plane ticket, $289. She had $131 left in her bank account. 3 weeks later, Maya flew to Boston. She left Isaiah and Elijah with Amanda. Amanda promised to take them to the zoo on their birthday. Maya hugged her sons at the airport. I will be back in 2 days, Maya said. I love you so much. We love you too, Isaiah and Elijah said together. Maya got on the plane. She found her seat by the window. She had never flown anywhere before. As the plane took off, she looked out the window at Chicago getting smaller below her. She thought about her mother. She thought about David leaving. She thought about all the years of struggle. This interview had to go well. It had to. Maya arrived in Boston and took the subway to Massachusetts General Hospital. The building was huge and beautiful. She walked through the front doors and found the office for residency interviews. There were 5 other students waiting. They all looked confident and well-rested. Maya looked down at her dress. It was old and a little too big. She had lost weight over the years and never bought new clothes. But it was clean and professional. It would have to be enough. A woman called Maya's name. Maya Williams? Maya stood up. Yes, that is me. Follow me, please, the woman said. Maya followed her down a long hallway. They stopped at a conference room. Inside there were 5 doctors sitting at a long table. They all looked important and serious. Maya's heart was pounding. Please sit down, one of the doctors said. She was a woman with gray hair and kind eyes. I am Dr. Patricia Moore. I lead the residency program here. Maya sat down. Her hands were shaking, so she folded them in her lap. For the next hour, the doctors asked Maya questions. They asked about her grades. They asked about her classes. They asked about her goals. Maya answered every question carefully. She was doing well. Then Dr. Moore asked a different question. I see from your application that you are a single mother of twin boys, Dr. Moore said. How do you plan to balance a residency with single motherhood? Residencies require very long hours and overnight shifts. Maya took a deep breath. This was the question she had been preparing for. This was the question that could end her dream. I have balanced medical school with raising twins for 7 years, Maya said. Her voice was strong and clear. I work harder than anyone. I never give up. My children are my strength, not my weakness. They are the reason I am the best candidate you will interview. The room was completely silent. The 5 doctors looked at each other. Then Dr. Moore smiled. You are exactly what we need, Dr. Moore said. 2 weeks later, Maya received an email. Congratulations, you have been accepted into the residency program at Massachusetts General Hospital. Maya was sitting in the library when she got the email. She screamed. Everyone in the library turned to look at her. She did not care. She called Amanda. I got it, Maya shouted into the phone. I got the residency. Amanda screamed too. I knew you would. I am so proud of you. Maya ran home and told Isaiah and Elijah. She picked them both up even though they were too big for that now. She spun them around in their tiny apartment. Mommy got the job in Boston, Maya said. We are going to move to Boston after I graduate. Everything is going to be better now. I promise." 2 months later, Maya was in the library studying when she got another email. This one was from Northwestern University. The subject line said, "Valedictorian Announcement." Maya's hands started shaking as she opened it. "Dear Maya Williams, we are pleased to inform you that you have achieved the highest GPA in your graduating class. You will give the graduation speech as valedictorian." Maya stared at the words. Highest GPA, valedictorian, her. The single mother who almost failed out. The woman everyone said would quit. She had done it. She had actually done it. Maya collapsed on the floor of the library. She just sat there, crying. Other students walked around her, but she did not move. Finally, Amanda found her. "What happened?" Amanda asked. She looked scared. "Are you okay?" Maya held up her phone so Amanda could read the email. Amanda read it, and then she started crying too. They sat on the library floor, hugging and crying together. That night, Maya told Isaiah and Elijah. They were eating dinner at the kitchen table. Chicken nuggets and vegetables. "Mommy has some news," Maya said. Her voice was shaking. "I found out today that I had the best grades in my entire medical school class. That means I get to give a speech at graduation. It means I was the best student." Isaiah and Elijah jumped out of their chairs. They started screaming and jumping up and down. They hugged Maya so tight she could barely breathe. "Our mommy is the smartest," Elijah shouted. "I knew you could do it," Isaiah said. That night, Maya lay in bed unable to sleep. She was going to be a doctor. She was the valedictorian. She was going to give a speech. Everything she had dreamed about was coming true. The next day, Maya's phone rang. It was a number she did not recognize. She almost did not answer, but something made her pick up. "Hello?" Maya said. There was silence for a moment. Then a voice said, "Maya, it is David." Maya's whole body went cold. She had not heard David's voice in 8 years. She sat down on her couch before her legs could give out. "What do you want?" Maya asked. Her voice was hard. "I heard about your achievement," David said. He sounded nervous. "I heard you are valedictorian, that you got into the residency program in Boston. That is amazing, Maya." "How did you hear about that?" Maya asked. "We have mutual friends from college," David said. "Someone told me, 'Maya, I want to come to graduation. I want to see my sons.'" Maya felt anger burning in her chest. "Your sons?" she said. "You do not have sons. You signed away your rights 8 years ago." "I made a mistake," David said quickly. "My mother was wrong about you. She was wrong about everything. Please let me come to graduation. Please let me meet them." "Where have you been for 8 years?" Maya asked. Her voice was getting louder. "Where were you when I gave birth alone? Where were you when Isaiah had pneumonia? Where were you when I was failing out of school? Where were you?" "I know," David said. "I know I was not there, but I want to make it right. Please, Maya." Maya stood up and walked to the window. She looked out at the street below. Part of her wanted to hang up and never speak to David again. But another part of her wanted him to see what he had lost. She wanted him to watch her succeed. She wanted him to meet Isaiah and Elijah and realize what he had given up. "You can come," Maya said slowly, "but you are not sitting with us. You do not get to be part of our family pictures. You do not get to celebrate with us. You are a stranger watching from far away. Do you understand?" "Yes," David said. "Thank you, Maya. Thank you." "I am not doing this for you," Maya said. "I am doing this for me. You gave up your right to be part of this family 8 years ago when you walked out that door." Maya hung up the phone. Her hands were shaking. She sat back down on the couch and put her face in her hands. Isaiah and Elijah were at school. They would be home in 1 hour. She had to figure out what to tell them. When the boys came home, Maya was sitting at the kitchen table. They dropped their backpacks and ran to hug her. "Mommy," Elijah said, "we learned about fractions today." "That is great," Maya said. "Come sit down. I need to talk to you about something." Isaiah and Elijah sat down at the table. They looked at their mother's serious face. "What is wrong?" Isaiah asked. "Nothing is wrong," Maya said. She took a deep breath. "I got a phone call today. It was from your biological father. His name is David." Elijah's eyes got very wide. "We have a father?" he asked. "No," Isaiah said quickly. He looked angry. "We do not have a father. We have you, Mommy. That is all we need." "Listen to me," Maya said. She reached across the table and held both of their hands. "David left us before you were born. He has not been part of our lives. He signed papers saying he did not want to be your father. But now he called and asked if he could come to my graduation ceremony." "Why does he want to come now?" Isaiah asked. His voice was hard and cold. "I do not know," Maya said honestly. "Maybe he feels guilty. Maybe he wants to see what his life could have been. But I want you to understand something. He is a stranger. You do not know him. You do not have to talk to him or be nice to him. You do not owe him anything." "Are you going to let him come?" Elijah asked. His voice sounded small and confused. "Yes," Maya said. "I am letting him come. But he is not sitting with us. He is not part of our celebration. He is just going to watch from far away." "Why are you letting him come at all?" Isaiah asked. He pulled his hand away from Maya's. "He left us. He does not deserve to see you graduate." "You are right," Maya said, "but I want him to see what he lost. I want him to see that we did not need him. I want him to know that he made the biggest mistake of his life when he left us." Elijah was very quiet. He looked down at the table. "What does he look like?" he asked. "I do not remember anymore," Maya said. It was true. David's face had faded from her memory over the years. That night Elijah could not sleep. Maya heard him crying in his bedroom. She went in and sat on his bed. "What is wrong, baby?" Maya asked. She rubbed his back. "I had a bad dream," Elijah said. Tears were running down his face. "I dreamed that you left us like he did." Maya's heart broke. She lay down next to Elijah and pulled him close. "I will never leave you," she said. "Never. You and Isaiah are my whole world. Nothing could make me leave you." "Promise?" Elijah whispered. "I promise," Maya said. "I am your mommy forever." Elijah fell asleep in Maya's arms. But across the hall, Isaiah was awake. He lay in his bed staring at the ceiling. He felt angry at a man he had never met. He felt angry that this stranger was coming to their special day. Isaiah did not want to meet David. He did not care what David looked like or what David wanted to say. David was nothing to them. The next day, Maya called Amanda. She needed to talk to someone who would understand. "He actually called you?" Amanda asked. "After 8 years?" "Yes," Maya said. "And I told him he could come to graduation." "Why would you do that?" Amanda asked. "Because I want him to see," Maya said. "I want him to see what I became without him. I want him to watch from the back of that auditorium and know that he made the wrong choice." Amanda was quiet for a moment. "I understand," she said finally. "You do not owe him anything, Maya. But if this gives you closure, then I support you." "The boys are confused," Maya said. "Elijah keeps asking questions about David. Isaiah is angry. I do not know if I made the right choice." "They will be okay," Amanda said. "They have you. They have always had you. That is what matters." After talking to Amanda, Maya sat down at her kitchen table. She opened her laptop. She had to write her valedictorian speech. Graduation was in 3 weeks. She had been putting off writing the speech because she did not know what to say. But now she knew exactly what to say. Maya started typing. 8 years ago, someone told me that single mothers do not get medical degrees. She stopped and looked at those words. She knew who the someone was. Margaret Williams. Margaret, who had destroyed her marriage. Margaret, who had told David to leave. Margaret, who had sent that cold letter saying the Williams family would provide no support. Maya kept typing. She wrote about her mother, Teresa. She wrote about being abandoned while pregnant. She wrote about the years of struggle and exhaustion. She wrote about Isaiah and Elijah being her strength. She wrote about proving everyone wrong. Every word of the speech was aimed at Margaret Williams. Maya did not say Margaret's name in the speech. She did not have to. Margaret would know. She would be sitting in that audience listening to every word. She would know that she had been wrong about everything. Maya wrote for 3 hours. When she finished the speech, it was 2 o'clock in the morning. She read it out loud to herself in her empty kitchen. Her voice shook in some parts. She cried in other parts. But by the end, her voice was strong and clear. This was her truth. This was her story. And in 3 weeks, she would stand in front of hundreds of people and tell it. The next morning, Maya woke up early. She made breakfast for Isaiah and Elijah. Toast and eggs. They ate in silence. Both boys seemed sad and confused. "I need you to understand something," Maya said. "What is happening at graduation is about us. It is about our family. It is about everything we went through together. David and his mother Margaret might be there watching, but they are not part of our story anymore. They are just people in the audience. We are the ones on stage. We are the ones celebrating. Okay?" "Okay," Isaiah said. "Okay," Elijah whispered. But Maya could see they were still struggling. She wished she could protect them from this. She wished she could make David disappear. But she could not. All she could do was love them and remind them that they were enough. That night, Maya sat at her kitchen table at 2 o'clock in the morning. She read her speech again. She made small changes. She added a section thanking Amanda and Mrs. Martinez and all the people who had helped her. But most of the speech was about Margaret's words and Maya proving her wrong. Maya saved the document and closed her laptop. In 3 weeks, she would stand on that stage. David and Margaret would be in the back row watching, and Maya would finally get to tell the truth about what they had done. Over the next 3 days, Maya rewrote her speech 12 times. She read it out loud over and over. She changed words. She moved sentences around. She wanted every single word to be perfect. She wanted people to understand what she had survived. She wanted Margaret Williams to hear the truth. On Thursday afternoon, Amanda came over to Maya's apartment. Maya had asked her to listen to the speech. Isaiah and Elijah were at school. The apartment was quiet. Maya stood in the middle of her small living room holding her printed speech. Her hands were shaking. "Just pretend I am the audience," Amanda said. She sat on the couch. "I am ready." Maya took a deep breath and began reading. Her voice was quiet at first. Then it got stronger. She told the story of being told that single mothers do not get medical degrees. She told about being abandoned. She told about working the night shift at the diner. She told about Isaiah getting pneumonia and failing her exam. She told about bringing her children to class because she had no daycare. Her voice cracked when she talked about choosing between the interview and her son's birthday. When Maya finished reading, she looked up at Amanda. Amanda had tears running down her face. "That was powerful," Amanda said. Her voice was thick. "Maya, you are going to make everyone cry. That speech is perfect." "You think so?" Maya asked. "I know so," Amanda said. She stood up and hugged Maya. "I am so proud of you. I am so proud to be your friend." That night, Maya practiced the speech 3 more times. She practiced in front of the mirror. She wanted to see her own face while she said the words. She wanted to look strong and confident. By midnight, she had the whole speech memorized. She did not need to read from the paper anymore. The next morning, Maya sat down with Isaiah and Elijah at breakfast. Graduation was in 2 days. She needed to prepare them. "On Saturday, we are going to go to a very big building," Maya said. "There will be hundreds of people there. You are going to sit in the front row with Amanda. I am going to sit on the stage. Then I am going to walk up to a microphone and give a speech. Everyone will be watching me. After that, I will get my diploma. That is the paper that says I am officially a doctor." "Will he be there?" Isaiah asked. He did not say David's name. He just said, "he." "Yes," Maya said, "he will be there with his mother, but they will be sitting in the very back row. You will not have to see them unless you want to." "I do not want to see them," Isaiah said. "What if they try to talk to us?" Elijah asked. He looked worried. "Then you can walk away," Maya said. "You do not have to talk to anyone you do not want to talk to. Amanda will be right next to you the whole time. If you feel scared or upset, hold her hand, okay?" "Okay," Elijah said quietly. Later that day, Amanda took Maya shopping. Maya had nothing nice to wear. All her clothes were old and worn. She could not afford new clothes during medical school. She had spent every dollar on her sons and her textbooks. They went to a department store in downtown Chicago. Amanda led Maya to the dress section. There were so many dresses. Maya felt overwhelmed. She did not know how to shop for nice clothes. She had not done this since before Isaiah and Elijah were born. "Try this one," Amanda said. She handed Maya a blue dress. It was simple and professional. Not too fancy. Not too plain. Maya went into the dressing room and put on the dress. She looked at herself in the mirror. She barely recognized the woman looking back at her. The dress fit perfectly. It made her look professional and confident. She walked out to show Amanda. "That is the one," Amanda said immediately. "You look beautiful, Maya. You look like a doctor." Maya looked at the price tag, $89. She bit her lip. That was almost all the money she had left in her bank account. "I will buy it for you," Amanda said. "No," Maya said quickly. "I cannot let you do that." "Yes, you can," Amanda said. "This is my graduation gift to you. Please, let me do this." Maya felt tears in her eyes. "Thank you," she whispered. Then Amanda picked out 2 small suits for Isaiah and Elijah. Navy blue suits with white shirts and little ties. She brought them to the cash register before Maya could protest. "Amanda, those are too expensive," Maya said. "I do not care," Amanda said. She handed her credit card to the cashier. "Your boys are going to look amazing at your graduation. I want to do this. You are my best friend, Maya. You are like a sister to me. Let me help you." Maya started crying right there in the store. The cashier handed Amanda the shopping bags and looked uncomfortable. Amanda hugged Maya while she cried. That evening, Isaiah and Elijah tried on their new suits. They stood in front of the mirror in Maya's bedroom. They looked so handsome and grown up. They were 7 years old, but in those suits they looked like little men. Elijah could not stop smiling. Isaiah stood very straight and serious. "Do we really get to keep these?" Elijah asked. "Yes," Maya said. "These are yours. Amanda bought them for you." "We need to say thank you," Isaiah said. "Can we call her?" Maya called Amanda on speakerphone. When Amanda answered, Isaiah and Elijah both shouted, "Thank you!" Amanda laughed and said they were very welcome. The day before graduation, Maya took Isaiah and Elijah to visit her mother's grave. They took 2 buses to the cemetery on the south side. It was a warm May afternoon. The sun was shining. They walked through the cemetery until they found Teresa's grave. The small headstone said, "Teresa Williams, beloved mother. Maya knelt down on the grass. Isaiah and Elijah knelt on each side of her. Maya had brought flowers. Pink roses. They were her mother's favorite. "Hi, Mama," Maya said. Her voice was soft. "I brought the boys to see you. They are 7 years old now. Can you believe it? They are so smart and kind. You would love them." Maya put the flowers on the grave. She touched the headstone with her hand. "I did it, Mama," Maya said. Tears were running down her face. "I kept my promise. I became a doctor. Tomorrow I graduate from medical school. I am the valedictorian. That means I had the best grades in the whole school. I wish you were here to see it. I wish you could meet your grandsons." Isaiah reached out and put his small hand on the gravestone. "Hi, Grandma," he said. "I am Isaiah. I am going to be a doctor too someday. Just like Mommy." Elijah picked a dandelion growing nearby. He put it carefully on top of the grave next to the roses. "This is for you, Grandma," he said. "Mommy says you are watching us from heaven. I hope you are proud of us." They sat at the grave for a long time. Maya told her mother about everything that had happened. She told her about David leaving. She told her about the hard years. She told her about Isaiah getting sick. She told her about almost failing out of school. She told her about the residency in Boston. She told her about the speech she was going to give. "I am going to tell the truth tomorrow," Maya said. "I am going to tell everyone what Margaret Williams said to me. I am going to prove her wrong in front of hundreds of people. I am doing it for me. I am doing it for my boys. And I am doing it for you, Mama, because you taught me to never give up." The sun was starting to set when they finally left the cemetery. Maya held both boys' hands as they walked back to the bus stop. She felt her mother's presence with her. She felt strong and ready. That night Maya could not sleep. She lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Tomorrow was graduation day. Tomorrow she would stand in front of hundreds of people and tell her story. Tomorrow David and Margaret would watch from the back row. Tomorrow she would officially become Dr. Maya Williams. At 5 o'clock in the morning, Maya gave up trying to sleep. She got out of bed and went to the bathroom. She took a long shower. She washed her hair carefully. She shaved her legs for the first time in months. She put lotion on her dry skin. She was going to look her absolute best today. At 6 o'clock, Maya woke up Isaiah and Elijah. They were excited and nervous. They got dressed in their new navy blue suits. Maya helped them with their ties. She combed their hair. They looked so handsome. Then Maya put on her blue dress. She stood in front of the mirror and looked at herself. She barely recognized the woman looking back. This woman looked strong and confident and successful. This woman was a doctor. Maya went to her closet and pulled out her white medical coat. It had been delivered last week. On the left side was embroidered Dr. Maya Williams. Maya put on the coat over her blue dress. She looked in the mirror again. Now she looked exactly like what she was: a doctor, a mother, a survivor. "Mommy, you look beautiful," Elijah said from the doorway. Maya turned around. Both boys were staring at her with wide eyes. "You look like a superhero," Isaiah said quietly. Maya knelt down and hugged them both. "Today is our day," she said. "Today we celebrate everything we survived together. Are you ready?" "We are ready," Isaiah and Elijah said together. Maya stood up and looked at her reflection one more time. She took a deep breath. It was time to go. They took a taxi to Northwestern University. Maya could not carry both boys and all their things on the bus today. The taxi cost $20, but it was worth it. They arrived at the auditorium at 9 o'clock in the morning. The graduation ceremony started at 10 o'clock. The building was huge and beautiful. There were people everywhere. students in graduation gowns, parents taking pictures, families hugging and laughing. Maya held Isaiah's hand in her right hand and Elijah's hand in her left hand. They walked through the crowd together. Amanda was waiting at the front entrance. She was wearing a yellow dress and holding a large rolled-up piece of paper. "There you are," Amanda said. She hugged Maya. Then she knelt down to hug Isaiah and Elijah. "You boys look so handsome in your suits." "What is that?" Elijah asked. He pointed at the rolled-up paper. Amanda unrolled it. It was a banner that said, "Our mommy is a doctor," in big red letters. She had drawn hearts and stars around the words. "I made this for you to hold during the ceremony," Amanda said. "Is that okay?" "That is perfect," Isaiah said. He touched the banner carefully. Maya felt tears in her eyes, but she blinked them away. She could not cry yet. She had to stay strong. "I need to go sit with the other graduates on stage," Maya said. She knelt down in front of her sons. "You are going to sit in the front row with Amanda. When they call my name, you can hold up the banner and cheer as loud as you want, okay?" "Okay," both boys said. "I love you both so much," Maya said. She hugged them tight. "Thank you for being the best sons in the world." "We love you too, Mommy," Elijah said. Maya stood up and walked toward the stage entrance. She turned around one more time to look at her boys. They were standing with Amanda, holding the banner between them. They waved at her. She waved back. Then she went inside. The backstage area was full of graduates. Everyone was putting on their black graduation gowns and caps. Maya found her gown hanging on a rack with her name on it. She put it on over her white medical coat and blue dress. She put the cap on her head. A woman with a clipboard came over to her. "Maya Williams?" the woman asked. "Yes," Maya said. "You are sitting in the front row on stage because you are valedictorian," the woman said. "When the dean calls your name, you will walk to the podium and give your speech. Keep it under 10 minutes. Understand?" "Yes," Maya said. Her heart was pounding. Maya followed the other graduates out to the stage. She sat in the front row of chairs. From here, she could see the entire auditorium. There were hundreds of people, maybe 1,000. Every seat was full. Maya scanned the crowd looking for familiar faces. In the very front row, she saw Amanda sitting with Isaiah and Elijah. The boys were looking around with wide eyes. The banner was rolled up on the floor by their feet. Maya smiled at them. Elijah saw her and waved. Isaiah sat very still and serious. Maya kept looking through the crowd. 3 rows back, she saw Mrs. Rosa Martinez. Rosa was wearing a purple dress and waving at Maya. Maya waved back. She felt so grateful that Rosa had come. Next to Rosa was Frank, the manager from Johnny's Diner. He was wearing a suit that looked uncomfortable, but he was smiling. Maya had not expected him to come. She felt tears in her eyes. Then Maya looked at the back of the auditorium. In the very last row, she saw them. Margaret Williams sat in a cream-colored suit with her hands folded in her lap. Her face was pale and tight. Next to her sat David. He was wearing a gray suit. He looked nervous and uncomfortable. They were so far away, Maya could barely see their faces, but she knew they were watching her. Maya felt something hard and cold settle in her chest. Good. Let them watch. Let them see what she had become without them. The ceremony began. The dean of the medical school walked to the podium. He was an older man with white hair and a deep voice. "Welcome to the Northwestern University Medical School graduation ceremony," he said. "Today we celebrate the achievements of 120 students who have completed their medical education. These students have worked hard for 4 years. Today they become doctors." The audience applauded. Maya sat on stage with her hands folded in her lap. Her whole body felt tight with nervousness. The dean started reading names. One by one, students walked across the stage. They shook the dean's hand. They received their diploma. The audience clapped for each person. It took almost an hour to get through all the names. Finally, the dean said, "And now, before we conclude, we will hear from our valedictorian. This student achieved the highest grade point average in the graduating class. Please welcome Dr. Maya Williams." The entire auditorium exploded with applause. Everyone stood up. It was a standing ovation before Maya had even said a word. Maya stood up from her chair. Her legs felt weak. She walked to the podium. As she walked, she looked at the front row. Isaiah and Elijah were jumping up and down. They were holding the banner high above their heads. "Our mommy is a doctor." They were screaming at the top of their lungs, "That is our mommy! That is our mommy!" Maya reached the podium. She looked out at the sea of faces. She found Amanda. Amanda was crying and smiling at the same time. She found Rosa. Rosa was clapping and wiping tears from her face. She found Frank from the diner. He was clapping hard with a huge smile. Then Maya looked at the back row. Margaret Williams was not standing. She was sitting very still with her face pale and her mouth tight. David was standing but not clapping. He was just staring at Maya. Maya gripped the sides of the podium. She took a deep breath. This was it. This was her moment. She looked directly at Margaret and David in the back row. Then she began. 8 years ago, someone told me that single mothers do not get medical degrees, Maya said. Her voice was strong and clear. It echoed through the auditorium. Today I stand before you as proof that they were wrong. The crowd roared with applause. Isaiah and Elijah were jumping and screaming. Maya waited for the noise to quiet down. Then she continued, "My name is Dr. Maya Williams. I am a single mother of twin boys. Their names are Isaiah and Elijah. They are 7 years old. They are sitting in the front row right now holding a banner that says, 'Our mommy is a doctor.' Those boys have been with me every step of this journey." Maya told her story. She told about her mother, Teresa, dying from untreated diabetes. She told about promising to become a doctor. She told about getting pregnant and being accepted to medical school at the same time. She told about being abandoned by her husband when she was 6 months pregnant. Her voice did not shake when she said this. She looked right at David when she said the word abandoned. "I was told I would fail," Maya continued. "I was told that single mothers cannot get medical degrees. I was told my children would suffer. I was told I should give up my dream and stay home. But I did not listen. I gave birth to my sons 3 weeks before medical school started. I brought them to class with me. I studied while breastfeeding them. I worked night shifts at a diner to pay for diapers. When my son Isaiah got pneumonia and I had to miss an exam, I failed that class. I was put on academic probation. Everyone said I should quit. But I did not quit." The auditorium was completely silent. Everyone was listening. Maya could see people crying. She could see people leaning forward in their seats. "I kept going because my mother taught me to never give up," Maya said. "I kept going because my sons needed me to show them that dreams come true if you work hard enough. I kept going because I had something to prove. Today I stand here as valedictorian of Northwestern University Medical School. I have been accepted to the residency program at Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston. I am a doctor, and I did it with 2 babies on my hip." The crowd stood up and applauded. The noise was deafening. Isaiah and Elijah were crying and jumping and holding their banner high. Amanda was sobbing. Rosa was clapping so hard her hands must have hurt. Even some of the professors on stage were wiping tears from their eyes. Maya looked at the back row. Margaret's face was completely white. She looked like she might be sick. David was staring at Maya with his mouth slightly open. Maya waited for the applause to quiet down. Then she finished her speech. "Thank you to everyone who helped me. Thank you to my friend Amanda, who brought me food when I was starving. Thank you to Mrs. Rosa Martinez, who gave me affordable daycare. Thank you to the staff at Johnny's Diner who slipped my sons free pancakes. And thank you to Isaiah and Elijah for being my strength. This diploma belongs to all of us." Maya stepped away from the podium. The dean handed her the diploma. It was in a leather folder. On the front it said, "Dr. Maya Williams." She opened it and looked at the paper inside. It was real. She was really a doctor. The ceremony ended. Graduates threw their caps in the air. Families rushed forward to hug their children. Maya walked off the stage and was immediately surrounded by Isaiah and Elijah. They crashed into her and hugged her so tight she could barely breathe. "You did it, Mommy!" Elijah shouted. "We are so proud of you," Isaiah said. Amanda hugged all three of them. Rosa came over and hugged Maya and cried. Frank from the diner shook her hand and said, "I always knew you would make it, kid." Then Maya saw Margaret Williams walking toward her through the crowd. Margaret stopped a few feet away from Maya. People were moving around them, celebrating and taking pictures. But Margaret stood very still. Her cream-colored suit looked expensive and perfect. Her hair was styled perfectly, but her face looked wrong. Her face looked pale and old and defeated. Isaiah and Elijah moved closer to their mother. Each boy held one of Maya's hands. They could feel that something bad was about to happen. Margaret opened her mouth to speak. Then she closed it. Then she opened it again. "I underestimated you," Margaret said quietly. Her voice was so quiet Maya almost could not hear her over the noise of the crowd. "I was wrong." Maya looked at the woman who had destroyed her marriage. The woman who had convinced David to leave. The woman who had sent that cold letter saying the Williams family would provide no support. Maya felt no anger. She felt no satisfaction. She felt nothing. "You were not just wrong about me," Maya said. Her voice was calm and clear. "You were wrong about what women can do. You were wrong about what mothers can do. And you destroyed your son's family because of your fear." Margaret's mouth opened slightly, but no words came out. She just stood there. Her perfect appearance could not hide the fact that her entire world had just collapsed. Everything she believed had been proven wrong. The woman she said would fail had just given a speech as valedictorian. The babies she said would be neglected were standing there in nice suits, looking happy and loved and proud of their mother. "I do not need your apology," Maya continued. "I do not need anything from you. I just needed you to see that you were wrong. Now you have seen it. We are done here." Margaret stood there for another moment. Then she turned and walked away. Her shoulders were bent. Her steps were slow. She looked like a woman who had lost everything. Then David appeared. He had been standing behind his mother. Now he walked forward. He looked nervous. His hands were shaking. He was looking at Isaiah and Elijah. "Hi, boys," David said. His voice cracked. "I am your father. You look so grown up. You look great." Isaiah and Elijah both stepped backward. They pressed against their mother. Isaiah's face was cold and angry. Elijah looked confused and scared. "I know I have not been around," David continued. He was talking fast now, nervous. "But I want to change that. I want to get to know you. I made a mistake. I should have been there. But I am here now." David reached out his hand like he wanted to touch them or shake their hands. Isaiah stepped in front of his brother. He looked up at David with dark, serious eyes. "We do not know you," Isaiah said. His voice was clear and strong. David's hand dropped. His face crumpled. "I am your father," he said again. But his voice was weak now. "No, you are not," Isaiah said. "You left us before we were born. You signed papers saying you did not want us. We do not need you now." Elijah said nothing. He just held his mother's hand tighter and looked at David with wide eyes. David looked at Maya. "Please," he said, "please let me talk to them. Let me explain." "There is nothing to explain," Maya said. "You made your choice 8 years ago. These boys do not know you. They do not owe you anything. We are leaving now." David stood there watching as Maya turned away. He watched Isaiah and Elijah walk away, holding their mother's hands. He saw how they looked at their mother with love and trust. He saw how they did not look back at him at all. He realized in that moment that he had lost them forever. They were not his sons. They were Maya's sons. He had given them up, and now it was too late to get them back. Amanda walked over and put her arm around Maya. "Are you okay?" Amanda asked quietly. "Yes," Maya said. "I am okay. It is over. I do not have to think about them anymore." "Mrs." Rosa Martinez came over and hugged Maya from the other side. "Your mother would be so proud," Rosa said. Her eyes were full of tears. "You are an amazing woman, Maya, an amazing mother, an amazing doctor." Frank from the diner shook Maya's hand one more time. "You were the hardest working waitress I ever had," he said with a smile. "I knew you were going to do great things." Professor Chen came over too. "I was wrong about you, Maya," he said. "I told you to quit. I told you it was impossible. But you proved me wrong. You are an inspiration." Maya felt overwhelmed by all the kind words, all these people who had helped her, all these people who had believed in her when she almost stopped believing in herself. "Come on, Mommy," Isaiah said. He was pulling on her hand. "Let's go celebrate! Let's get ice cream!" "Yeah," Elijah said. "Let's celebrate!" Maya looked down at her sons. They were smiling now. The encounter with David had upset them, but now they were bouncing back. They were resilient. They were strong. Just like her. "Yes," Maya said. "Let's go celebrate." Maya looked back one more time. David was still standing in the same spot, watching them. Margaret was sitting on a bench near the back of the auditorium, with her head in her hands. They looked small and sad and defeated. Maya felt a moment of pity for them. But only a moment. They had made their choices. They had to live with the consequences. Maya walked out of the auditorium holding her son's hands. Amanda walked beside them. They went to an ice cream shop near the university. They sat outside at a small table. Isaiah and Elijah got chocolate ice cream cones. Maya got vanilla. Amanda got strawberry. They sat in the sunshine eating ice cream and laughing. "What happens now, Mommy?" Elijah asked. He had ice cream on his nose. "Now we finish packing," Maya said. She wiped his nose with a napkin. "In 3 months we move to Boston. I start my residency at the hospital. You start 2nd grade at your new school. We start our new life." "Will it be better in Boston?" Isaiah asked. "Yes," Maya said. "It will be better. I promise. I will have a real job. I will make real money. We can get a bigger apartment. Maybe we can even get a dog someday." "A dog!" Elijah shouted. "Can we really get a dog?" "Maybe," Maya said with a smile. "Let's see how things go." They sat there for a long time. People walked by on the sidewalk. Cars drove past. The sun was warm on their faces. Maya felt something she had not felt in 8 years. She felt peace. She felt like everything was finally going to be okay. That night, Maya hung her diploma on the wall in their apartment. It was in its leather frame. Isaiah and Elijah helped her hammer the nail into the wall above the kitchen table. They stepped back and looked at it. "Dr. Maya Williams," Isaiah read out loud. "That is you, Mommy." "That is me," Maya said. "I am going to be a doctor too," Isaiah said. "Just like you." "You can be anything you want," Maya said. "Both of you. You can do anything if you work hard enough. I promise." Over the next 3 months, Maya and her sons prepared to move. They packed their small apartment. They said goodbye to the few friends they had. They said goodbye to Chicago. Maya had lived in this city her whole life. Her mother was buried here, but there was nothing left for her here anymore. Her future was in Boston. On the first day of August, Maya and Isaiah and Elijah stood outside a small apartment building in Boston, Massachusetts. They each held a suitcase. Their other belongings were being delivered by a moving truck the next day. Maya looked up at the building. It was old, but clean. The apartment was small, but bigger than what they had in Chicago. It was theirs. "This is it," Maya said to her sons. "This is our new home." "It looks nice," Elijah said. Isaiah said nothing. He just held his mother's hand and looked at the building. He looked nervous, but also excited. Maya unlocked the front door and they walked inside. The apartment was on the second floor. It had 2 bedrooms, a small kitchen, and a living room. The walls were white and empty. The floors were wood and creaked when they walked. But the windows let in bright sunshine. "Isaiah and Elijah, you can share the bigger bedroom," Maya said. "I will take the smaller one. Tomorrow, when our stuff arrives, we will unpack and make it feel like home." The boys ran through the apartment exploring. They opened closets. They looked out windows. They tested how loud they could talk and hear the echo. Maya stood in the kitchen and looked around. This was her new life. This was her fresh start. Everything she had worked for had led to this moment. That night, they ate pizza sitting on the floor because they had no furniture yet. After dinner, Maya put the boys to bed on air mattresses. She tucked them in and kissed their foreheads. "Good night, Mommy," they said together. "Good night, my loves," Maya said. Maya went to her own empty bedroom. She lay down on her own air mattress and looked at the ceiling. Tomorrow she started her residency at Massachusetts General Hospital. Tomorrow she became a real doctor. Tomorrow her new life truly began. Maya woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning. For a moment, she did not know where she was. Then she remembered. Boston. Their new apartment. Her first day as a resident doctor. She sat up on the air mattress and took a deep breath. Today, everything changed. She got dressed in her white medical coat with Dr. Maya Williams embroidered on it. She put on comfortable shoes because she would be standing all day. She looked in the mirror. She was 32 years old. She was a doctor. She was starting her residency at one of the best hospitals in the country. She had done it. Isaiah and Elijah were still asleep when Maya left. A neighbor had agreed to watch them until the after-school program started next week. Maya kissed their foreheads and whispered goodbye. Then she took the subway to Massachusetts General Hospital. The hospital was huge, much bigger than Chicago Memorial Hospital where her mother used to work. Maya walked through the front doors and reported to the residency program office. There were 15 other new residents. They all looked young and nervous. Dr. Patricia Moore came in to welcome them. "Today you begin your residency," Dr. Moore said. "The next 3 years will be the hardest years of your medical career. You will work long hours. You will be exhausted. You will question if you made the right choice. But you will also save lives. You will become excellent doctors. Welcome to Massachusetts General Hospital." Maya was assigned to the emergency room for her first rotation. She spent the day treating patients. A man with chest pain, a child with a broken arm, a woman having an asthma attack. Maya worked alongside experienced doctors who taught her what to do. By the end of her 12-hour shift, Maya's feet hurt and her back hurt. But she felt alive. She felt useful. She was helping people just like she had always dreamed. When Maya got home that night, Isaiah and Elijah were waiting for her. They had made her a card that said, "Congratulations on your first day, Dr. Mommy." Maya hugged them and cried happy tears. "How was it?" Isaiah asked. "It was hard," Maya said honestly, "but it was wonderful. I helped people today. I did what I was meant to do." 3 days later, Isaiah and Elijah started second grade at their new school in Boston. The school was bigger than their old school in Chicago. They were nervous. Maya walked them to their classroom on the first day. "What if the kids do not like us?" Elijah whispered. "They will love you," Maya said. "You are both kind and smart and wonderful. Just be yourselves." The teacher was a young woman named Miss Jennifer Lopez. She smiled at the boys. "Welcome, Isaiah and Elijah," Miss Lopez said. "I heard your mother is a doctor at Massachusetts General Hospital. That is amazing." "Our mom is the best doctor," Isaiah said proudly. That afternoon when Maya picked them up from school, both boys were smiling. "We made friends," Elijah said. "I met a boy named Carlos. He loves to draw just like me." "I met a girl named Sarah," Isaiah said. "She wants to be a doctor too. I told her about you." Maya felt relief wash over her. Her sons were going to be okay. They were adjusting to their new life. The weeks turned into months. Maya worked long shifts at the hospital. Sometimes she worked 12 hours. Sometimes 16 hours. But it was different from medical school. She was getting paid now. She had health insurance now. She could afford to buy groceries and new shoes for the boys when they needed them. For the first time in 8 years, Maya was not constantly worried about money. One Saturday morning, Maya and the boys went to a furniture store. They bought a real kitchen table and real chairs. They bought real beds for Isaiah and Elijah instead of air mattresses. When the furniture was delivered, the boys jumped on their new beds and laughed. "This is the best day ever," Elijah shouted. That afternoon, Maya hung her medical school diploma on the wall above the new kitchen table. She used the same nail she had used in Chicago. Isaiah and Elijah helped her make sure it was straight. They stepped back and looked at it. "Every morning we will eat breakfast and look at this," Maya said. "It will remind us of how far we came. It will remind us that hard work pays off." Every morning after that, they ate breakfast together, looking at the diploma. Toast and eggs, cereal and fruit, sometimes pancakes on weekends. They talked about their days. They laughed. They were a family. Maya loved her work in the emergency room. She treated people who could not afford regular doctors. People who had no insurance. People who were poor like her mother had been. She treated every patient with kindness and respect. She made sure they got the care they needed even if they could not pay. One day, an older woman came in with chest pain. She was scared and crying. She said she could not afford the hospital bill. Maya held her hand. "Do not worry about the bill right now," Maya said. "Right now we focus on making you better. Okay?" The woman looked at Maya with tears in her eyes. "You remind me of my daughter," she said. "Thank you." Maya treated the woman's heart condition. She made sure the woman got medication. She connected her with social workers who could help with the bills. When the woman was discharged, she hugged Maya. "You are an angel," the woman said. Maya thought about her mother. This was why she became a doctor, to help people like this woman, to help people like her mother who could not afford care. 6 months into her residency, Dr. Patricia Moore called Maya into her office. Maya was nervous. Had she done something wrong? "Sit down, Maya," Dr. Moore said. Maya sat down. "I have been watching you," Dr. Moore said. "You are an exceptional doctor. Your patients love you. Your colleagues respect you. But more than that, you are proof that we need to support medical students who do not fit the traditional mold." "Thank you," Maya said quietly. "I want to create a scholarship fund for single parents in medical school," Dr. Moore continued. "It will help them pay for childcare and living expenses. It will make it possible for more people like you to become doctors. I want to name it after you. The Maya Williams Scholarship Fund. Maya's eyes filled with tears. Are you serious? She asked. Very serious, Dr. Moore said. What do you think? Yes, Maya said. Her voice was thick with emotion. Yes, please. If this scholarship can help even one person, then everything I went through was worth it. Dr. Moore smiled. We will announce it next month at the hospital fundraiser. I want you to speak about your experience. Maya nodded. She could barely speak. This was bigger than her now. This was going to help other people, other single mothers, other people who were told they could not do it. She would prove that they could. The years passed. Isaiah and Elijah grew taller. They made friends at school. They joined after school activities. Isaiah joined the science club. Elijah joined the art club. They were happy. They were thriving. Maya's residency was hard, but she survived it. She was used to hard work. She was used to being exhausted. But now she had support. She had colleagues who respected her. She had Dr. Moore who mentored her. She had enough money to pay for things her sons needed. Life was still hard, but it was so much better than before. 5 years after graduation, Maya took Isaiah and Elijah back to Chicago. They were 12 years old now. They were tall and smart and confident. Maya rented a car and drove them to the cemetery on the south side. They walked through the cemetery to Teresa's grave. The gravestone looked the same. Teresa Williams, beloved mother. Maya knelt down on the grass. Isaiah and Elijah knelt on each side of her, just like they had 5 years before. But now they were not little boys anymore. They were almost teenagers. Hi, Mom, Maya said. She put fresh flowers on the grave. Pink roses. We came back to visit. We wanted to tell you about our life. Maya told her mother everything. About finishing residency, about working in the emergency room, about the scholarship fund in her name, about Isaiah and Elijah doing well in school, about their apartment in Boston, about being happy. We made it, Mom, Maya said. Tears were running down her face. We are okay, more than okay. We are good. I kept my promise. I became a doctor. I help people every day. I help people like you who cannot afford care. And I raised these 2 amazing boys. Look at them, Mom. They are wonderful. Isaiah placed flowers on the grave. He was quiet and serious, like always. Hi, Grandma, he said. I am going to be a doctor like Mom. I am going to help people, too. Elijah placed a drawing on the grave. He had drawn a picture of their family. Maya, Isaiah, and Elijah holding hands. Above them was a star representing Teresa watching over them from heaven. This is for you, Grandma, Elijah said. I draw pictures all the time now. Mom says I am really good. Maybe I will be an artist someday. They sat at the grave for a long time. Maya felt her mother's presence. She felt proud. She felt grateful. She felt at peace. As they walked back to the car, Isaiah looked at his mother. Mom, do you think we can do anything we dream of too? He asked. Maya stopped walking. She knelt down so she was eye level with her sons, even though they were almost as tall as her now. Yes, Maya said. She looked at both of them. You can do anything you dream of. I taught you that nothing is impossible. Look at what we survived. Look at what we built. You can be a doctor, Isaiah. You can be an artist, Elijah. You can be anything. As long as you work hard and never give up, you can do anything. Isaiah and Elijah hugged their mother right there in the cemetery parking lot. They stood there for a long moment. 3 people who had survived everything together. 3 people who had proved everyone wrong. 3 people who were proof that dreams come true if you fight hard enough for them." They got in the car and drove away. Maya looked in the rearview mirror one last time at the cemetery. She whispered, "Thank you, Mama," and then she drove toward the future. If you enjoyed today's video, I'm sure you'll love the next one. Don't waste time. Just click on the screen